I've made, I want to invest. And after protracted discussions, he didn't understand what equity meant. We didn't want to go down the debt route. I still remember the day when we signed that agreement. He had taken us to his ancestral town. There were his grandparents, uncles, aunts. We had a signing ceremony in front of everybody, right? And we signed, and he said, "Come, let's go out for a walk." We went out for a walk. He had his copy of the agreement. He said, "This is great." I said, "Wonderful." He said, "I'm putting in 1 crore." And in front of me, he tore the copy of the agreement. He says, "I'm never going to refer this agreement. This is done. I know this is equity. If you lose even a single paisa of my money, I'm going to kill you." I said, "What?" He said, "I've trusted you, right? I've done this deal not because I understand the business model. You don't have a business, you have 3 customers. You're asking me for 1 crore. Our revenues at that point of time was all of 2.5 lakhs. I've given you 1 crore because I trust you. Don't break that trust. If you break that trust, I'm going to hound you for the rest of your life and get my money back." I was saying, you know what? You have that agreement. I can go to the courts. You can't do anything. One part of me was saying that, but the other part was telling me that isn't that true? I mean, he's trusted me and given the money, right? Whether it is equity or a shareholder, all that is still the legalese. But end of the day, it is that core foundation of trust. And I crossed my heart and swore to him saying that, Mr. Rangan, for the rest of my life, if you want to work and return your money back, I'll return it to you. The only concession I was to get from him was that, please don't charge me interest on this money. I'll give you back your 1 crore, right? I think that was again a very fundamental shift to saying, end of the day, organizations grow, organizations thrive, be it employees, be it investors, be it your own partners. That fundamental premise of trust that I intend no harm to you. I will live up to whatever commitments I make. With best efforts. There have been many things that have happened subsequently where we have almost survived or sunk, but it never crossed that chasm where with malintent we were operating. And I say that this is extremely critical as a fundamental operating principle for that. And I'll just leave you with one last anecdote, one last story, which is again sticks very strong in my mind. And I think that's where we really, the trial by fire as entrepreneurs happened. It was in 2002 after the 9/11 fiasco. Outsourcing virtually stopped. A lot of our customers came in and said, "You know what, no business." I still remember December of 2001, we had 0 revenues and we had a burn of salaries plus rentals plus stuff. We were spending 3 lakhs a month and we had 3 lakhs in the bank. Ranganath also went bust. He had problems with stock markets, etc. So we didn't have money. January 2002, we were staring at a 15-day closure. We were saying, okay, 15 days, we're going to run out of money. What do? We have only 3 lakhs in the bank. One part was saying, forget it, just shut it down. Fine, we've tried 1.5 years, we've had fun, we've learned, let's go back. The other part was saying, you know what if I give up today? I'm never going to try this again probably. So we did a very interesting thing. We looked at our expenses breakup and saw that we had 15 employees. Our average annual, monthly wage bill was about 1.5 lakhs. And we had 50,000 rupee expenses, and 1 lakh was our salaries. Of course, we stopped our salaries immediately, 3 of us. And the 150,000, the only way we thought was, if we can survive 6 months on 3 lakhs, we have a fighting chance to survive. So the way was saying that, 50,000 rupee expenses we'll keep. We called all of our 15 people employees, and that's where the trust part came into play. Put them in a room and said, from this moment onwards, no salaries to anyone. We can't afford it. This is the situation wherein here's our bank balance, here's our revenue statements, that's it. But if we do well, I'm going to repay your salaries with interest. So we told them that we're going to give you half an hour. All of you, if you want to walk away now. But if you want to stay with us, stay because we're going to stay. Half an hour later, we walk in, all 15 of them are in the room. Right? And for 6 months, everybody worked without a salary. 2 great things happened. One, so we also put, I don't know how many of you have read this book called Maverick. It's by a guy called Ricardo Semler, and I got inspired by him. He had an accounting system where there were no salaries for anybody. Everybody could look at the balance sheet and the profits and decide how much money they can take. This is in a manufacturing sector. We put a similar scheme. So we said, end of every month, we're going to put all the revenues on the table. We're going to put all costs on the table. Whatever is excess, without touching what's in the bank, will be split across all of you. So I still remember March everybody, we had an excess of around 4,000 rupees. So we said, okay, 15 people, 4,000 rupees, some 200 rupees each or whatever, right? I still have that Excel sheet where somebody took 225.25 paisa or something like that. But it did two great things. One, everybody ran after revenue. So overnight, I had 15 sales guys in the organization, right? Even the receptionist, in a way, became our salesperson. Two, if there was a switch that was on, 3 guys ran to switch it off because they said 1 rupee to the AD was 1 rupee lesser on the table, right? So it brought in so much of a sales focus, a revenue and a cost focus that I think those 6 months defined what Meritrack is still today, right? And after that, I mean, of course, the story goes on that we kind of, after 6 months, the recession or whatever the temporary thing we had rolled out, and we grew so fast for the remaining 5 years that we got invested by HSBC Private Equity in 2005. We got invested by Manipal Education, which I'm now a part of, where Meritrack is acquired by Manipal. We've completed our full cycle as entrepreneurs. And so that's been the story, and we'll share more on that, but those are the 3 thoughts that I want to share with you as we head over on this.
Thank you, Mr. Madan. In fact, before we can take some questions from the audience and from us also.